This session of working with line, I'm going to not work her. So one of the real important things a dog needs to learn to do is stay behind when you're riding or walking out to your cattle or going. They need to come behind. Now Line gets to anticipating. She knows when I put the other dogs in the kennel, and she gets to anticipating that she's going to go out and work, and she gets out in front of me, come behind, and she takes off and wants to go to the cattle before I ask her. So every once in a while, or maybe I should do it every day, is I just keep her behind me here, and what I'm doing, I got this hay that I had in the kennels. I'm taking it out to the pasture. I got to get through my electric fence. Come here, Line. Come behind. And I got some wood out here I've been cutting, so I'll get lots of stuff done at once. Line, come behind. Now, so the big deal is like she's got a lot I want to go, and that overcomes her power to listen to me, and so without a collar, somehow I got to get that. And so she's got to know. Come here, Line. Come behind. I'm going to ask her one more time, and then I'm going to get after her. And I like to take little different routes going to and from the cattle. Line, you better come behind. Come here, Line. Come here. Well, I mean, listen to me, and I mean it. Now you come behind. So there's where I gotta get kind of rough with her and let her know that she's got to listen to me. There's got to be a reason for her to listen. Like a child, I guess. It's like Hayes, Mesa's baby. I don't know. Really, it's not my job to discipline him. But hey, Line, come behind. But when he comes over to our house and gets in my dog water, Tammy was, every time he'd come, she'd put the dog water up so he didn't play with it. That looked kind of silly to me. Right there, Line. So I just decided that, well, let's just put a stop to that. And so when he got in the water, I didn't get him down and jerk on his collar like I did with Line, but I put a little pressure on him, and he quit getting in the water. So you got to discipline things, or they got to know where the line is, and there's got to be a reason for that line. And I guess that's why I call her Line. So we'll walk out to these cattle, and I'll drive. I'm going to keep her behind me, and I'm going to drive these guys up a foot, up to where I just threw that old hay out. I don't know if they'll want it or not, but it's something I need. So that's the deal. Now I don't have my stick. I usually have to come out here with a stick. I'll tell you a little story about my bull. I just talked to my neighbor Alex Martin about getting a bill of sale. This bull down here, he belonged to my neighbor who lives up on the hill up here, and I could see him. He doesn't have any cattle, he just has some horses. I see this bull up there all the time, and I was wondering why he had that. And anyway, I thought, well, someday he's going to end up down here at my cows. And he did. You can cross the river. He crossed the river. It's just, there's not a fence there because it gets washed out. So he came across the river, and I rode up to him, and he was real gentle. And I could pet him off my horse, and he kind of wanted to sniff my horse, and then so anyway, I just told Alex to leave him down here, and I could walk up and pet him. And by the way, this is for my my miniature calf down there. He's not tall enough to drink out of the water, so I throw him a little water every day. So this bull, he's real gentle. You could pet him, and I liked him and all that. I'm gonna go get me a stick. And so that was, then he got to kind of hooking my horses a little bit. And then he got to kind of acting different towards me on the ground. Well, I never paid much attention to it. And one day I go out, and he to work red, and he come running, and he just knocked me down, like on, just kind of crazy. And it's funny, I had a dream the night before. Tammy was gone. I had a dream the night before, and I watched this kids movie from Mexico about the Day of the Dead, and explained, well, anyway, I had this dream that I died, and I didn't know if I had passed over or not. So so the bull knocks me down, and when I woke up, I didn't know if I was dead or alive. But anyway, so I thought it was a weird dream. So see there, he's pawing at, hey, he's a pawing, like he's gonna come. He might. I'm gonna use these other cows to get behind me, but he's kind of gotten to where I can drive him off with a stick. So anyway, he knocks me down. I get up, he knocks me down again, pretty violently. Like, didn't hurt me, but he just knocked me down and rolled me around. So I'm laying there, and I kick him in the face a few times, and he kind of quits, and I'm thinking, holy cow, I might die. So I kind of got myself worked around. I had some gated pipe like that stuff down there, and I got over the top of it without him hooking me. And I got up, and it was quite a ways to the gate. It was farther than this to this gate. It was quite a ways. So I take off a running, and I thought he's kind of distracted, and here he comes, and he comes a running hard, hits me right in the butt, and flips me up over his neck, and wallers me around again. And I finally get up and get out there. He hits the gate right when I get, so, and then right here at this water one day, he come and got me, and I got around the water. So he was really violent for a while, and so I got a stick, a big old club, like a cedar stay, and I would put a knot. I tried to knock him out. I remember when I was a kid, we were working, doing something with my grandpa, and he had a pole trying to get this yearling or something up in the chute, and it come running back by him. He hit the head and knocked it down. Well, it didn't knock it down, it killed it. So I was kind of trying to do the same thing to this guy. Come on, line. So so what I had to do, so he was an orphan. Long story short, Alex worked up at a ranch up in the north here, and they had a bunch of heifers, and one of them had a calf, and this was they shipped him, and so he kept the calf. They didn't want the calf, so he kept the calf, and this is the orphan. Well, bottle raised and no balance. So, you know, an orphan calf or a dairy cow or a dairy bull, they don't have that balance to drive away. And so everything's come to you, and you could rub him and pet him and everything, but when he got with my little bull, he learned to fight, and he learned that, and then that became aggressive, and that kicked out something in, this is my theories. So anyway, he just become really on the fight. So what I had to do is I had to change that balance back, and I had to get this bull where it took less to drive him away and change his mind than it did his mind coming to me. And boy, that's now he's changed. My wife wants me to sell him. That's what I talked to my neighbor about, is getting an inspection. She lost the bill of sale. Well, she didn't lose it, but she's not home, and I can't find it. So He's kind of crippled though, so I'm not going to take him to sale this week, just when I was going to sell him. So Tammy wants me to sell him. And I'm going to. But I think I have to get him healed up first. I think he slipped on the ice. But you see, now I got him where he can drive him. And I don't, like, I really like to draw cattle a lot. Like, by going forward and drawing on that, the dog's got his, there, and will draw that eye forward. But with him, I don't draw him at all. I drive. And I want him to go away. And this is just a little electric fence stick. But the one I first started using was a big old knotty wooden pole. And it was pretty heavy. It's up at the house. And I did whack him with it. And I'm not ashamed to say I whacked him with it. So, animals need to have a balance. If you always draw animals to you, that's great until you need to drive one away. And so that's, and these cattle they're pretty darn gentle. And that's the way I like them. But I also want them to where I can do something with them. So I'm going to drive them down to that hay we put down. Come on, Lion. And Lion did real good. She's staying out. And we'll just drive them. Instead of having her go and gather them, she can help me drive them along if she wants. We'll just drive these guys. I haven't been driving them. I've been using my dogs to gather them to me anyway, so they need to learn to drive away. They're out of balance here, so I'll just send them. Now, this heifer here, she's real gentle. Came that way and stayed that way. But that little bull and that little miniature,